Hazrat Khuraym bin Fatik radiyallahu anhu, one of the Sahaba of Rasulullah SAW, his son's name was Ayman radiyallahu anhu, and his brother's name was Sabr. So himself and his brother both participated in Badr. So Khuraym radiallahu anhu's incident on how he became Muslim was very interesting. This is in the 3rd volume, wherein how Allah Ta'ala helped Sahaba through unseen assistance. He hears actually the jinn giving him da'wah. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu says that Khuraym radiallahu anhu said to Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu that, can I narrate to you? Kayf ala ukhbiruk? Shall I narrate to you how I actually was inspired to be Muslim? And what was the first incident in my life that inspired me towards Islam? Kayfa kana badu islami? Hazrat Umar says, indeed, share it with me. So we learn Sahaba would love to share how they became Muslim. And they would love to hear from each other the Karguzari, the report of how this brother became Muslim, how that area came into Islam. Like there was a Jamaat today here, and they gave an amazing advice. I was with them in the Dora class. They come from an area called Manipur. So they're out quite a few months in Allah Ta'ala's way. This is near Burma, Rohingya, where Muslims are suppressed and severely oppressed. So this is a town in India but bordering Burma. So they're saying that in our country we don't know about giving dawah to non-Muslim and so forth, but here in South Africa we're going town to town and there's so many people interested in Islam. And then he says we've been to madrasas in certain locations, 20 or 30 of the students are born Muslim. More than 50 are children who are studying, who embraced Islam, and their parents are still non-Muslim. So they were sharing with our students and with all of us that don't hoard the deen for ourselves, but share it with others. Invite others to Islam. Bring people to Islam. And also when teaching in the locations also, keep this in mind, O respected students of deen. Even when teaching in the maktab and teaching children who embrace Islam or who go back to a home whose parents are not Muslim, very importantly, inspire these children like we teach them the theory, the recital, how to read, what to do, the practicals. Also teach them the love of Allah, Iman. Teach them Allah's love. Don't just teach them how to read. That's very important, how to read. But teach them the importance of protecting Iman. Because what happens to these children, now they're 7, they're 8. Now by the time so many ulama are making effort, they reach the ages of 13, 14. They know how to read Quran Sharif in the location. But they're not seen in the masjid musalla anymore. Why? Because they haven't learned the effort of Iman. That effort of Iman connects a person to masjid. So like we teach our children the practical, teach them the beauty of salah, teach them the enjoyment behind the salah, the wisdom of the sajda, the love of Allah through the salah. Then they are Muslim for life, and then also make them da'i. Because what's the first benefit of being da'i? You will remain firm. If you are continuously talking about it, so you make your student a da'i in the location, in the maktab. Whoever it is who may attack Islam or turn against Islam or object to Islam, that child will stand up and say, no, my Islam is like this. And he'll defend Islam. And that will keep him firm. So this is a very important thing. Many a time we're teaching in the maktab. But what about teaching them the love of Allah? And that comes through tabligh and through tazkiyah and through da'wah. So Hazrat Khuraym says to Hazrat Umar that as I was taking care of my flock, I was behind my flock and it was nightfall. And in that, I got my flock and it's nightfall. I am asking protection from the jinn. Na'udhu billah, a'udhu bi'azizi hadha al-wadi min sufaha'i qawmihi. I'm seeking protection, na'udhu billah, from the senior jinn of this valley. Protect me from his fools. So he's asking the jinn to give him protection. So one Ajib Karguzari, one day I was in Louis Trichardt, so there was some brothers from one of the madrasas. So I was also in madrasa. So I'm taking them into a little bit of a sayr, a little bit of a picnic. So we're in the woods. So I heard one of the students read this. So I'm saying, but brother, why are you saying this? He said, no, it came in the Hashia, that this is the dua you must read. So I said, no, definitely you got it wrong. The Hashia you would have read, but it's actually saying that we're not supposed to say this. This was the statement in Jahiliyyah that they used to ask protection from the jinn, which is haram. But see how, if we don't study correctly, and we don't make sure we understand, and we don't correct our nahu, our sarf, our lugha, and ask our teachers, see what can happen. We can actually end up making shirk. Allah save us. I was with the student, and what he's saying, he's seeking protection from the jinn because he read it in the Hashia and he's thinking, that's a dua. So anyway, Hazrat Khuraym was saying this. And then one voice came from the unseen, Hatifun, calling out, وَيْحَكَ عُذْ بِاللَّهِ ذِي الْجَلَالِ وَالْمَجْدِ وَالنَّعْمَاءِ وَالْإِفْضَالِ وَاقْرَأْ بِآيَاتٍ مِّنَ الْأَنْفَالِ وَوَحِّدِ اللَّهَ وَلَا تُبَالِ. The voice came from the unseen. Woe to you! Seek protection from Allah. Seek Allah's help. Dhil Jalali. Allah is that being of the greatest glory, power, grandeur and favors. Recite verses of the Quran Kareem and also from Surah Al-Anfal and maintain Tawheed in your life and your practice. Wawahidillah. Believe and worship Allah alone. Then you got nothing to fear. Wala tubali. Then don't worry, Allah's protection is with you. Hazrat Khuraym says, I heard this voice from the unseen. فَذُعِرْتُ ذَعْرًا شَدِيدًا. I was petrified. In that, after some time, I regained my control. And I said, يا أيها الهاتف ما تقول أرشد عندك أم تضليل بين لنا هديت ما الحويل. He says, oh, the one who's calling me, what is it that you are telling me? Are you leading me to the correct path, or are you trying to mislead me? Tell me, what is the way out? What is the hawilu? What is the hila? What do I do now? Then the voice said us again, إن رسول الله ذو الخيرات بيثرب يدعو إلى النجاة يأمر بالصوم وبالصلاة ويزجر الناس عن الهنات. Verily, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the possessor of great goodness, he is in Medina Munawwara giving dawat to salvation. He advocates salah and Sawm. So what we learn? This is an incident that happened during the Medinan period. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was already in Medina Munawwara. Sawm and Salah was already revealed. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is advocating Sawm and Salah. وَيَزْجُرُ النَّاسَ عَنِ الْهَنَآتِ. And he prohibits people and he stops people from evil traits and evil habits and evil ways. Hazrat Khuraym says, immediately that tashkil of the jinnat was enough for me. I got onto my conveyance and I'm asking Allah, أرشدني رشدا هديت لا رجعت ولا عريت ولا برحت سيدا مقيت ولا توقرني على الخير الذي أتيت. قال فاتبعني وهو يقول صاحبك الله وسلم نفسك وبلغ الأهل وأدى رحلك آمن به أفلح ربي حقك وانصره أعز ربي نصرك. So he says that you guided me and may Allah bless you with this guidance. I'm not going to retract, and may you continuously be in goodness that you told me what to do. And then the next voices came that may Allah be there for you and protect you, and may Allah convey you safely to your destination. Bring iman upon him, meaning Allah and his Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and may Allah give you success. Aflaha Rabbi haqqaka. And help, wansurhu, help Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his efforts, and may Allah will then help you immensely. Wansurhu a'azza Rabbi nasraka. So I'm saying to him, please tell me, sir, man ant, who are you? Yarhamukallah. Allah have mercy on you. So this Hazrat was saying, he said, my name is Amr bin Uthal and I am the Amir of the jinn of this area here in Najd. Meaning Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gave us dawat and I am the Amir Sahib in this area here, in charge of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's work in this area here. And Allah Ta'ala will protect you. And then I went to Medina Munawwara. And when I entered, it was Jumu'ah. Hazrat Abu Bakr came by me and he said to me, come, come, may Allah have mercy on you. Because Balaghana Islamuk. The news, the karguzari of your Islam has reached us already. So I said to him, but I don't know anything about Islam. La uhsinu tuhur. I don't even know how to make wudu. Fa'allamani. So he, Hazrat Abu Bakr, taught me. What a beautiful sunnah. See Sahaba Kiram, radiyallahu anhum. A new brother who doesn't know, lovingly teach him. Lovingly teach him. I remember some time ago we were in Palestine in the Jamaat. What a beautiful work, Jamaat. Allah give us all tawfiq to go in the Jamaat, to go in the path of Allah. What a Mubarak work. So we were in this area called Faradis. So we're making gush. Then we saw these youngsters. We were talking to them in Arabic. And one beautiful thing we learn is you want to get the brother to the masjid. So you can see these were youngsters, 3 young men. The ages were 19, 20. So we're making fikr on them. Come with us to the masjid. So they not hearing anything. They're not interested at all. They said, please, you must come. But they enjoyed talking to us on the street. Coming to the masjid, they weren't ready. Finally, we had to use a tactic. That, you know what, brothers, we're just coming from Umrah and we are your guests. And we got something special for you in the masjid. Khajur from Medina Munawwara and Zamzam from Makkah Mukarramah. Now generally an Arab, very, very hospitable. And now you're telling him, I'm your guest. This pricked their emotions. So they said, no, okay, we'll come. So 3 of them come. So I have 2 of them with me in my hand like this. And one was next to us. We get to the door of the masjid. One of them just runs and escapes. So I'm thinking, Ya Allah, if I'm going to run behind him, we'll lose these 2. So anyway, I just politely, lovingly, but also politely, lovingly, but also somewhat forcefully. You're not prepared to say, take no for an answer, because you know shaitan wants to take them away. And we want to take them inside the masjid, and only Allah can help us. So they put their shoes, now we go into the masjid. Now shaitan is putting wasawis in their hearts. That, you know, this is not the right place. We haven't been here for so long. What people are going to say? See this whispering, what shaitan does. What people are going to say? So we get to the wudu khana. It was a big masjid in Faradis. And we get to the bottom, by the wudu place. And then Allah guided me to understand. See, from their expression, they didn't know how to make wudu. So I said to them, softly, don't worry, let's sit together. Just watch with the corner of your eye what I'm doing and you do the same. So I'm making wudu slowly, but indirectly teaching them so they don't feel ashamed that others might comment something. Oh, you don't even know wudu. You know, you get insan that has no shame at all. That's why Surah Al-Nas is also asking Allah Ta'ala's protection from the jinnati wa nas. Sometimes a person can say something and that can chase people away. Anyway, we made our wudu. We go upstairs in the masjid and we're performing salah. So they're next to me. We go into ruku', and the man actually whispers in my ear that, Ya Shaykh, Aish Agul, what should I say? So I realized they don't even know what to read in the salah. So we're reading Subhan Rabbiyal Azim audibly so they can hear, but not too audibly so it disturbs others or makes it obvious. And when we completed the salah, Allahu Akbar, these 2 young men were so emotional. They were incessantly crying. And they said, you know, for years we haven't been to the masjid. Sheikh, we can't thank you enough that you brought us here to the masjid. But we got friends. What about them? Who's going to talk to them? Who's going to come by them? So I said to them, come, we meet you here. When can we go meet your friends? They said, okay, they'll make an appointment in 1 hour's time. They're ready. So I said to them, meet me here in 1 hour's time. So we finished off whatever errand we had. 1 hour's time we came there. These 2 friends came to pick us and they took us to certain friends of theirs where all their friends were gathered and we got to speak to them. Allah's fadl, maybe 4 or 5 hours we got speaking to them, drinking coffee with them, and them born Muslims asking questions about Islam. And imagine, I'll give you an example. One question that came from a Muslim. He says, but why shouldn't we believe that Jesus is the Son of God when he didn't have a father? See how far-fetched and incorrect and astray can a Muslim's understanding become when we stop the effort of Iman. So anyway, who taught Hazrat Khuraym wudu? Hazrat Abu Bakr. And there's so many interesting. There was one highway robber in the time of Sahabar radiallahu anhum. I'm not going to tell you his name now, you must find out. He says, Hazrat Abu Bakr took me, I was a thief, a highway robber. He used to rob an entire army on his own. He says, when I saw the akhlaq of Abu Bakr when he came to Syria, I loved him. I joined them because of him. Then Hazrat Abu Bakr held my hands like this and lovingly taught me the 5 pillars of Islam, step by step. So we have to also learn how to teach people slowly, lovingly, kindly, and repeatedly. When teaching people also, we have to be tolerant and teach them again and again, especially the reverts and the people new to deen. So Allah give us tawfiq also to play our part. As for the end of the story, you have to read it yourself.